Hello. Hi, everyone. This is Kerrie here. I'm really looking forward to this webinar today. It is all about getting started in business, getting those first wheels turning in particularly a creative business, but I suppose for any business, the hardest thing in the world is to get started. And I'm just going to let people come in and join us for a moment because there would have been an email a few minutes ago, so there'd be a few people just getting that now and joining us here live. Thanks so much for joining me for this. I hope you find it inspiring. It's a few of the things that have helped me along the way in getting started in business. I will just let you know that if you would like to type in any questions into the chat, you are more than welcome to. I will try at the very end to go through and answer as many questions as possible. So stick around for that. I'll try and make sure to answer your questions. If I miss it, I'm really sorry. I'll do my best. If you would like to also tell us where you're from in the chat, just while we're waiting, that would be really nice too. I can see that we have some hellos from Quebec, the UK, the Gold Coast. We've got lots of different places there, so feel free to pop in the chat where you're from. Palm Springs, oh, very fancy. And any other questions that you might have along the way, that is completely fine. I should also let you know while we're waiting here, hi Adelaide, that if you haven't seen it on social media, that my masterclass in business for creatives is open for enrollments, and it's coinciding with the time of this webinar. It's once a year. This masterclass is all about getting started in your business and moving forward in depth, but in simple steps. And it doesn't matter if you're not tech savvy, it's for you too. It's for all creatives in business. And it is for anyone who would like to start a side hustle or a meaningful full-time business and just doesn't know how to monetize the talent that they have, their creative talent, and just move forward in practical steps. It's almost everything you won't learn at university. It is all about the real world and just moving forward. And you can do this course in 12 weeks or in as much time as you like. It's up to you. And because 2023 has been such a tricky year for so many different reasons for pretty much everyone around the world, we have decided to set the price this year at a special price, as well as add in a 20% discount. Just this year, we've never done this before, this level of discount, just this year, because I know that it's been such a tough year for people. Everyone has had difficulty this year pretty much in some way, and at any moment you can jump on the link below this video and click away and nab one of the 10 places that there are for that discount code, and you'll be emailed this webinar, so you won't miss it. You'll still get a copy of it, and I'd love you to join me in that masterclass. But I'll talk a little bit more about the masterclass at the end of this video, but feel free to click away and nab one of those spots in the course with the discount using the code creative20 if you would like to. Okay, formalities out of the way. I can see that so many, I can see here that someone's saying that their video is frozen. Oh, I hope is that happening for anyone else? Can you type in the chat if your video is playing? That would be interesting to know. So I've got a few people saying that their video has frozen. Grace, are you around to say whether yours is? I don't think I can pause, but can you just let me know if you're watching, if the video is working for you? Just so that I know. Problems. Problems. Okay, mine works. Mine is playing. Okay, I really hope that there aren't problems. I'm going to keep going. I'm so sorry if there are problems. If you can't watch this video today, it will be emailed to you. So you'll get the video as it's recorded. So that should be totally fine. So I'm so sorry if you have any problems with the video live. I will be emailing it to you if you are frustrated right now and can't watch it. So I hope to keep an eye out. Oh, it's back. Thanks, Sylvia. One of my favorite students. Thank you so much. Okay, let's press forward. So let's talk about what we're going to be talking about today in this webinar. So the first thing is how to overcome the fear of starting a creative business. And let's be honest, that is one of the hardest things in the world to work with when you have a creative business. It's getting started. And I would say that making friends with fear is one of the most important things that you can do in order to move forward in your business. How tidying up your space can help start your business, how to, I've just seen a little message, by the way, that someone has refreshed their page and it's playing properly again. So if you're having that issue where this video is stopping and starting, try refreshing your page and hopefully it will work for you. Fingers crossed. Technology sometimes. How to shift your mindset surrounding imposter syndrome, and then an introduction to the masterclass. So let's move forward. I'm really hoping the video is working for you. Let's start with how to overcome the fear of starting a creative business. So really the biggest thing I want you to think about is how to change the mindset of what if everything fails to what if it all works out. Honestly, most of us have a bit of a devil's advocate mindset by default, and we tend to go into that what if it doesn't work out. What if is usually negative, but let's change the what if to what if it all works out. We hardly ever frame our thoughts like that. So if you can kind of trick that into changing for you from what if it fails to what if it works out every time you have those what if thoughts, that's kind of the first thing. The second thing is how to train your mind to not worry about what other people think of you. And the truth is, if you start a business, you're already going outside of the square. You're already being a bit of a rule breaker by doing that. And that might feel a little bit uncomfortable for you, and it might even feel uncomfortable for people around you as well. And it's really important to just acknowledge that and know that some people might feel a bit weird about it, but that's okay. You have to learn how to not worry about what anyone else thinks about what you do. Probably the key to a happy life overall, not worrying about what anyone thinks. I truly think that. So that's one thing to try and shift in your mindset. The truth, though, is that our bodies are set to try and avoid pain and danger. And when we feel like we're doing something that's a bit scary, it can bring up a feeling of fear in our bodies. And fear is something that I really want to talk about, because when we feel fear, we tend to go into either a fight, flight, or freeze response. I really didn't think I'd be able to say those three together properly, but I did. So we go into one of those responses, and I feel like the freeze position is the one that we often take when we're wanting to start a creative business or any kind of business, and all of these what if thoughts come in and fear ends up taking over. And ultimately, it's just our body trying to keep us safe. Our ancestors learned that they have to look after our safety. We have to look after our own safety. And so fear is there as a protective mechanism. But sometimes fear can stop you from moving forward, which leads to the next thing I want to talk about, which is how to make friends with fear. And I think this is incredibly important. Fear is not a bad thing, ultimately. Fear is something that we all have inside of us, and it's just that thing that, as I mentioned, is trying to keep us safe. It's that thing that starts saying, but maybe not now, maybe not me, who are you to be doing this? What if everything goes wrong? That's the little voice of fear. And the truth is, it's really important to acknowledge that it is there, because you can't avoid it. I still have these thoughts and these feelings, and I'm aware that fear walks around in my head as well. I'm sure it lives in yours. It lives in mine too. All of the people that you would admire that are really successful have probably all mastered a sense of living with this sensation of fear. And something that I really try to do is separate fear from me. It is something it's in the room, but it's not actually me, but I acknowledge that it's there. And a really beautiful analogy of this that I read a few years ago in a book by Elizabeth Gilbert, in a book called Big Magic, is that I loved this analogy, is that she imagines that when she's starting a new creative project, she's on the highway, she's driving a car, she's in the driver's seat, and fear is a separate entity to her, and it's sitting over her shoulder in the back seat. Not even riding shotgun with her, it's in the back seat. And she acknowledges that fear is there in the car, and she thanks it for being there. She says, thank you for your thoughts, I'll allow you to have your thoughts, and I appreciate that you're here, you're trying to keep me safe, but you're not driving the car, I'm driving the car, you're not even riding shotgun. And that's how I really want you to feel about these feelings that you might have if you want to start a business. And if the feeling of fear starts coming into your body, that acknowledge that it's there. Don't pretend it's not there. It's like when you go through something traumatic, you can't pretend it's not happening. You have to acknowledge it. And this is kind of the same thing. Acknowledge that the feeling of fear is there and you appreciate its presence, but it is not making the decisions in your business. It is not going to be the thing that stops you from launching, and it is not driving the car. It is not steering the wheel. You are doing that. And fear is just simply a little voyeur that's there with you, with a little voice, and that's okay, but it is not you, and you are in control of it. So I really love that analogy, and I hope you do too. And I hope it helps you to be on top of those feelings and not let that call the shots in your business or your life moving forward. That's a little bit about our friend fear. And I think it's a really nice way of just being able to make the decisions yourself rather than a fear-based decision-making process. Next, I want to talk a little bit about, and this might sound a bit crazy, but just go with me, how tidying up your space can help you move forward in your business. So there's this beautiful phase in your business, and you might be in it right now, where you're journaling, you've got the Moleskine diary, you've got your favorite pen, and you go to cafes and you write out a business plan and all the things you want to do and all the dreams that you'd love to create as reality. And this is a really beautiful phase of your business. This is actually the phase that fear loves, because it's really safe. It's really enjoyable. I love it too. I love this phase with any new project, and fear likes you to stay here because it's so safe, and you can't get hurt in this phase because you haven't actually put anything out there for anyone to judge or buy or look at. It's just such a lovely place to be. And I'm not discrediting this process. It's actually really important to get the thoughts out of your mind and onto paper. I feel like that is definitely the first commitment to a project starting, and it's a really important part of the process. I always write down my intentions onto paper, and I try and do it into my favorite journal possible and try and make it very significant. So that's important. I'm not discrediting doing that. You should definitely do that. Write down your intentions and nut out ideas and costings and how you'd make things work. That's really important. But the next movement from there, once you know what you're going to do and you have your intentions, is action. And you have to move forward into action, into a state of action. Otherwise, it's all just a beautiful dream, and it's a beautiful idea, and it's not actually in there in the real world. Even if it's not great in the real world, at least once it's in the real world, you're able to iterate, update, improve, and keep moving forward. So the reason that I'm going to suggest tidying up your space is because it is a physical thing. You are in action doing it, and it's that time to clear your desk, clear your desktop, unsubscribe to emails that you don't want to receive anymore, because you know, that distraction and interruption can stop you from moving forward. I would say go through everything in your office particularly and look at all the items that you can see and decide whether there are things that you're looking at that just not part of your journey moving forward, where you want to go with your business. So you might have a lamp on your desk that an auntie gave you 10 years ago for your birthday, and you never really loved it, but you feel kind of bad not keeping it. But maybe you can give yourself permission to give that lamp to charity, update your office with, or just your workspace with, inspiring pieces. You don't necessarily have to spend a lot of money. You just might buy some pieces that are in the colorway of your business, or just upgrade a few little bits and pieces to kind of tell yourself that you're moving forward in your business and you're not sitting in the past. Somehow that can really invigorate you to move forward, and it's a physical thing doing this action. You might go through your paperwork and get rid of all the paperwork you no longer need, especially if you have it as an e-file. Just clearing out space in your office space can also clear out the space for the new things that are to come. And that's a little bit woo, but I think a tidy, clean, organized office just cuts down on the friction of when you enter the space and you need to find what you need to find and do what you need to do quickly and easily and smoothly. That just helps. Just removing friction in your office space just helps. And having it look and feel inspiring can actually help you sit down and feel confident to chase up those unpaid invoices calmly and confidently, or move forward into action calmly and confidently. So tidying up your space moves you into action, and action is what moves you forward in your business. And so then you can probably move more easily into ideas like registering for a domain name for your business, a .com, deciding on your first product launch, making sure that all of the links on your website and your social media are up to date and working. Having a logo designed. You might contact Fiverr and have 5 to 10 logos designed, and you're just going to pick one. You're going to pick one and move forward with it. You can always update it later. Really, don't get caught in a procrastinated branding cycle, because that can go for years. And I just want you to pick one of those logos that you like, and you'll come back to it. You'll come back to it and look at it and see if you love it in a month, and you can update it then if you don't like it. Registering for a free trial on an e-commerce platform like Etsy, Big Cartel, Shopify. You might contact 20 freelance clients with a sample of your work and see if 2 come back to you with a yes. Every business is different, but all of these items are ones that fear doesn't like, because they are moving you forward. They are actions that move you into the real world, and they're really, really important. And once you're on a roll, it's so much easier to keep going. Now, I hope everyone's got their video working. I can see some people saying that it's going on and off. try refreshing your page. I hope it works for you. Again, as I mentioned, I will email this to everyone who was registered. So hopefully that will be a seamless video experience. And I'm so sorry if you're having any technical dramas. I will just press on and hopefully everyone will receive a very smoothly recorded video. Okay, let's keep going. The next thing I wanted to talk about is how to shift your mindset regarding imposter syndrome. And I know I've talked about this many times. So if you've heard me talk about this before, I'm sorry for the double up, but I think it's so important and so many people struggle with it. It's something that, you know, I still have moments where I feel a sense of imposter syndrome as well. But there's something that I always do that helps me out, because when you feel imposter syndrome, you tend to have a weird tummy sensation where you feel it's like a nervous feeling, that feeling that you might have had before an exam when you were a kid, or before a big presentation. You just feel these kind of tightness and butterfly feeling in your tummy, and that is, again, fear getting nervous for you and trying to keep you safe. And I want you to try and reframe that. This is something that I do all the time. If you can try and reframe and remarket that feeling of nerves into excitement, it will completely change your life. I had an event recently in Sydney for a very, very high-end luxury French brand in fashion and beauty, probably the highest end fashion and beauty brand in the world. And I had to do a 3-hour painting in watercolor workshop for 150 staff from this brand. It was in a convention center. I was on a stage all mic'd up, and I was going to be talking for 3 hours as well as painting. And everything I was doing was being projected up onto huge screens. And I'm a huge introvert. And so whilst I was not worried about the painting element, just the talking and being in front of so many people element was a bit scary. I'm not going to lie. I couldn't eat my breakfast that morning. This is only a few weeks ago too, and I'm 25 years into my career. So this thing never goes away. I'm just being honest with you. It never goes away. And I started to feel nervous, and I just said to myself, this is great. I really care about what I do today in this job. And I did. I cared about doing a good job deeply. And I said to myself, I'm excited. This is excitement. And this is great. This is my body getting excited to hopefully do a really great job here today and put in all of my effort to make it a really beautiful experience for everyone doing this class, this 3-hour painting class. And ultimately, I just had to convince myself that, and remember that if my energy is positive and has that feeling of excitement rather than nerves, excitement being positive emotion, nerves are a kind of a negative emotion. So if I'm giving excitement rather than giving nerves, then I feel like everyone's going to enjoy the experience, which was exactly what happened. And I can't discount how important that is, because ultimately, really, in business, in public speaking, in any kind of event, in any kind of live situation, whatever you're doing, people never remember what you said or what you did. They only ever remember how you made them feel. And I can't reiterate that enough. And I said to myself going into that convention center that I'm going to make everyone feel great and feel seen, and I'm going to give everyone encouragement and make everyone feel like they're here to enjoy this. This is all about joy. There's no marks. Let's just all enjoy this and have a creative 3 hours. And I wanted it to feel really fun and inclusive, and I feel like that's how it went. So that is always the most important thing. No one will ever buy from you because of the product that you're selling. They will buy from you because they believe in what you believe, and they like the way you make them feel. So that's really, really important. That's, you know, probably a bit of a rule for life. So hopefully that helps you get on top of imposter syndrome. Just remember, we all have it. I'm pretty sure Taylor and Beyonce would feel a little sense of nerves before their concerts. And it's just normal. It just means they care. But obviously those women, those incredible women, have figured out how to just embrace their talent anyway and put their amazing energy back out into the world. They don't expect themselves to be perfect, probably, because no one's perfect. And so, yeah, that's what I do. I rebrand nerves as excitement. And it's so weird how that changes the way you feel before anything in life, a presentation, a big work meeting, a speech, whatever it is that might make you feel a bit nervous. Try doing that next time. It is really good for introverts in particular, and I use it all the time. And that really brings me to the fact that the biggest regret that most people have at the end of their lives is that they have not taken chances in life. They have worried about what other people thought of them all of their lives, and that they worked too many hours in a job that they didn't love. So those are the three things that most people say that they really regret at the end of their lives. And so I suppose that brings me to the fact that my masterclass in business for creatives is now open for enrollments. I'm really excited about this. This webinar is only the beginning. This course is all about moving forward in a very, very guided, simple way for anyone who is even not tech savvy. That's not a problem at all. This is for all creatives who would love to create their best life from their creative talent by monetizing what they do into a side hustle or a full-time business. It is all about how to build an engaged community, how to attract your dream clients, how to publish your first book, understanding royalties and copyright, to scale up your business with products, how to run a successful launch, and how ultimately to live your best life from your creative business. Because I think that's it. You know, there's an ROI or a return on investment for living your best life. It is. I do see some courses about business and it's all about 10x this and 10x that. And honestly, through this business, I really want you to have a very successful financial situation from your business, but I also want you to live your best life. And I think that that's the ultimate goal, surely. And whilst not everyone watching this is a woman, I will just say we are all so busy and there are so many demands, particularly on women, that involve caregiving. And I'm just going to say it's so complicated. It's all so complicated. And this course is all about how to create a business that works in with all of the complications of your life, because I understand that. I understand that greatly. And so, you know, not everyone's schedule is the same. Not everyone has the same number of hours in order to create the business that they want to. And this course is all about tailoring the business to your life, and that might just be a really successful and meaningful side hustle. In any case, I would absolutely love you to be part of it. Enrollments are open. There are only 100 spots worldwide for this course. It is for anyone who would love to create their best life. There is a 20% discount on an already special price for the course, which is using the code creative20. It is at the link below this video. You can click away and use that code at the checkout at any time. It applies to both the full purchase or the monthly, 6-monthly plan, if that's helpful to you. There are no real art supplies needed for the course. Everything is printable PDF worksheets, and everything that you print out will end up being your brand Bible. So you'll fill it all out as you go along with the videos. and it will really help you by the end to see everything that you need to know about your business and how you want to move it forward, which I think is really helpful. It covers everything from freelancing to products and scale, so passive income, all of those things, marketing, email marketing, all of that. It's all in the course, and it's done in a way that it is not super difficult if you are a bit scared of technology, which is fine. I totally understand that. We do live sessions in the course too if there are things you want to ask me. Otherwise, everything is pre-recorded and you can completely do it at your own pace. The enrollments for the course will be closing on the 29th of October or when sold out. So make sure that you grab one of those places. There's always a 30-day full refund policy with my masterclasses. If you're not gelling with the course and it's not feeling like it's right for you, that's fine. I want everyone during the course to be really happy to be there. So there's almost no risk if you want to try it out and see if it feels good for you. So, and thank you to everyone who is already enrolled. If you are part of the course, I look forward to being part of it with you. It's now time to have a look at the chat and see if I can answer some of your questions. Feel free to type them in on the side. I'm so sorry if you've had technical difficulties throughout this video. Every now and again, these things do just happen. I hope it's worked for you. I can see some people have said it's been working fine, but others have been saying it keeps dropping out. And I'm really sorry if that's happened. Sometimes it's hard to control these things. But let me try and see if I can answer some questions here on the side. And I hope that this video has been inspiring in some way, especially for the introverts out there, because I see you. I'm absolutely one, and I don't want to go off on a tangent, but sometimes I think that introverts feel like it's harder for them to launch something in business because we struggle with putting ourselves out there a little bit more than someone who's not introverted. And if you identify with that, you know, you can still have major success in business while still maintaining your beautiful introvertedness. You really can. And so don't let that stop you from creating or launching a business. You may not want to do things like this, webinars. I even find, you know, it takes a bit of courage for me to do this. You may want to do different things that market your product, like do more blogs, or, you know, do YouTube videos where you're doing an audio over visuals of just you working on whatever the creative thing is that you do. There's ways around it. So don't let being an introvert put you off starting a creative business. Okay, I'm just going to see if there are any questions on the side. Feel free to type them in. Thank you for all these beautiful comments. I really, really appreciate it. I've got here Dylan saying that he's already signed up, that he's been loving the watercolor class and already had 2 commissions. That's amazing. I love hearing that. That's fantastic. What else have we got here? I'm looking for questions. Oh, I'm seeing people saying it's dropping out, but it seems to be working for some others. I've got, hi Kerrie, I'm really interested in doing the masterclass. I'm heavily pregnant and can't do it this year. Will you offer it again next year? So yes, this course will be back again next year, towards the end of the year, similar timing to now. Because 2023 has been such a tricky year for everyone, we are offering a special price this year and a discount that so both the price and the discount probably won't be the same next year. It'll probably be back up to full price, and we may not be able to do this kind of discount. So if there is an option, if you really wanted to take advantage of that, is enrolling now and just not starting the course until it works for you, you can do that, especially on a payment plan, which is 6 months, or you can just, it will be back again next year. That is the other option. But after the 29th of October, it will be closed until 12 months time. And just be aware that the price is the best it's ever going to be this year. So I just want to be honest with you about that so that you're aware. But at the same time, sometimes it is better to do things when they work for you. I've got here, I have so many ideas to launch a small business in the medical field, mainly teaching, but also selling products. But as I have been procrastinating, as I didn't know where to start, I might sign up for your masterclass. Catherine, that this course may be interesting to you. I'm not certain if what you're doing with the medical field will align exactly with this course, but I would suggest maybe signing up and having a look in at all of the curriculum and seeing if that is going to align with what you want to do. And if it doesn't, just send me an email or a DM and we can make sure it's going to work for you. I want to make sure that this is suited to you, and it has been created for creatives. That said, it's possible that if there's a creative element to what you're doing, it might still work for you, but feel free to send me an email or a DM. And in fact, anyone can do that. I check my DMs, I will reply, same as emails. Feel free to get in touch with me and let me know what the business is that you're doing, and I can be completely honest with you about whether I feel like this course would be really helpful for you, because I want to make sure that this is the right direction for you to go in. Thank you so much for this webinar. I'm excited to get actioning and stop letting fear stop me. Honestly, oh, Dylan is a girl. Sorry, Dylan. Thank you so much. I've got that wrong. I love that name for a girl, actually. It's so French. I love that. Yes, good. I'm so glad. Fear is a thing that stops everyone from moving forward. And honestly, even people that are really, really accomplished, you would be surprised how much fear can get into them, but they've obviously just pushed forward. So it never goes away. Just understand that it never really goes away. You never feel like you're walking down the street and you're just so confident you can do anything. That never really happens. So just know that everyone feels those same feelings that you might have now. And it's totally normal. We're all living with it. It's not just you, we are all living with it. I've got a question here. I'm starting my new creative business. Do you recommend your masterclass for fresh starters, or do I have to have the business running? No, it is absolutely for anyone who hasn't started yet at all, or would like to level up their current business. So absolutely, that's for Isadora. I hope I said that right. It's absolutely perfect if you haven't started yet, because the very beginning is all about getting started. So it might really help you to propel forward. So definitely, I would love to see you part of the course. Thank you for the comment on my dress, Megan. This is from Ghost Fashion, which is an English brand. Did you have imposter syndrome when you had your first commission? Absolutely. I absolutely did, and I still do. I had it a couple of weeks ago with the French luxury brand. I have it all the time, but that's okay. I think that the biggest thing is that when the feeling of, or the desire of wanting to create the thing and put it out into the world and just do it outweighs the fear, that is when you move forward. So for example, when I was in Sydney about to go on stage with the mic and everything, my desire to do this well outweighed the fear. And so therefore I just lived with the fear for the first 30 minutes. And then I started to feel really comfortable and I was really enjoying myself. So it's just getting past that feeling of how much do you want this? There was one student that I had in this course, the Business Masterclass last year, who messaged me and said, I really want to do an art exhibition, my first art exhibition, but I don't want to have to contact galleries. I don't want to have to speak to them and ask them about looking at my work and whether we would do an exhibition. I just don't want to do it. And I sat with that for a moment and I just said, how much do you want to do the exhibition? You know, how much do you want it? Because ultimately, the idea of waiting to get picked is no way to live. I don't wait to get picked. You know, I didn't, certainly not in the beginning, and I probably still don't either. And I just wanted that student to know that when you really want to do this, when that outweighs them not wanting to contact people and take that action, that's when it will happen, because you'll just do it. That's outweighing the fear, and you've put old fear in the back seat, and fear's not steering the wheel anymore because you're steering the wheel. And you know, that's all it comes down to, just reframing those ideas about fear and imposter syndrome and just moving forward, because at the end of the day, no one does anything perfectly. And if there's something burning in you to do, remember those people on their dying beds saying that they wish they'd done it. That's their number one regret. They wish they'd taken chances, and they wish they'd stopped worrying about what anyone else thinks of them. And I hope I can leave that with you as a rule for life. We're just not going to worry about what anyone thinks anymore. We're just going to do our best in life, be the best version of who we are. And if you have a creative passion inside of you, I hope that you find the inspiration to put it out into the world. And if you join me on my masterclass, I'm sure I'll be helping you doing that, my masterclass in creativity in business. But if not, I hope you figure out how to do it and learn to live your best life, because that's what we all deserve. Thanks, everyone. I hope this has been enjoyable. Bye.